Alrighty guys, welcome back to Star Wars Reviews, and I'm going to be doing little, another topic video on Mandalorian Season 2, because in the third episode of the second season, titled Chapter 11, The Harris, we got to see Bo-Katan make her live-action debut, um, played by Katie Sackhoff, who voiced Bo-Katan in Star Wars The Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about Bo-Katan and her live-action debut, and what I think is gonna happen with her character in The Mandalorian and whatnot. So yeah, I guess I'll run down real quick. Bo-Katan, she originally appeared in the season 4 episode of The Clone Wars titled "A Friend in Need," which she was a member of Death Watch, which was led by Pre Vizsla, who was voiced by Jon Favreau, the showrunner and creator of The Mandalorian. But then she would later appear in 8 more episodes. One where Maul takes Mandalore, kills Pre Vizsla, and she leaves Death Watch at that moment. But then later in the final 5 episodes of Season 7, what aired earlier this year on Disney Plus. She appeared in there with Ahsoka taking Mandalore back, but then she appeared in, obviously, technically she appeared in this before those episodes, but in the Season 4 premiere of Star Wars Rebels titled Heroes of Mandalore, she was in that episode where she acquired the Darksaber from Sabine Wren, another Mandalorian, but as we know, the Darksaber is now in the hands of Moff Gideon. We don't know how Moff Gideon got the Darksaber, how he got it from Bo-Katan, but yeah, obviously it's a very brief breakdown. There's definitely better ones, and if you want to know who Bo-Katan is, I just recommend watching the Clone Wars and Rebels. They're, both shows are definitely worth it. I probably should have said that beforehand, but yeah, but now we saw her in this episode, and beforehand, I've never been a big Bo-Katan fan. I liked her in Clone Wars and Rebels, but never like a major Bo-Katan fan. But when she flew down onto that boat and introduced herself to Din, it was just like, oh my god, just on cloud 9, seeing it all go down, and the reason it worked so well for me is just how seamless it was, making that transition from the animated shows to a live action show is, soon could be, tricky in ways, but it just was completely seamless and, made sense and just worked. There's obviously, for someone watching the show who didn't know who Bo-Katan was, it was enough to somewhat, know who she is. And for someone like me who already knows who Bo-Katan is, watched every episode of Clone Wars and Rebels she's appeared in, and it was not too much info dump, it could have been like, oh, here's all this stuff about me, and it's like, I already know that, but no, it wasn't that. I just really liked how it worked, and just worked so well. So it just felt great to see her in live action, and this season so far we saw her and Cobb Vanth, the character from books, and seeming like we'll most likely be seeing Ahsoka, who's also from the Clone Wars and Rebels, making the jump to live action too. But just nice to see the other forms of Star Wars media get represented in live action. Obviously, that's not me, saying that live action is better than animated or the novels. Personally, I want more animated shows and even animated movies from Star Wars. So yeah, but just seeing that getting represented more. Obviously, animated stuff in the novels aren't as big, mainstream as something like The Mandalorian is, but just to see it get shown in The Mandalorian, maybe people who never watched the Clone Wars or never read one of the books, see those characters and wonder about them and want to maybe watch the Clone Wars or read the books or something like that. I really like that about the characters showing up. So yeah, but now I want to talk about where Bo-Katan might go and whatnot. So like I said earlier in Rebels, she obtained the dark saber, but sometime in between that episode and the appearance in this episode of Mandalorian, Moff Gideon had stolen it. Now we know that she's on the hunt. She's hunting for Gideon to reclaim the dark saber to lead slash reclaim Mandalore again. So I would assume we'll probably learn in a future episode of Mandalorian how Gideon acquired it and whatnot. But that's I'm not here to talk about that. Talk about the future. Obviously, didn't Bo-Katan cross paths in the episode, and obviously, and they don't know it, but they have somewhat the same enemy in Gideon. Obviously, I guess at this point, Din doesn't know that Gideon isn't dead, so I assume Bo-Katan has absolutely no clue about any of it. So yeah, kind of interesting here, but I'm assuming they cross paths again, they'll figure that out. And, I think the series will eventually lead more towards Din helping Bo-Katan reclaim the Darksaber and Mandalore, and just some team up with a bunch of Mandalorians and all of that. The only thing is, I just wonder how the child will work into all of that. Obviously, Gideon is going after the child, which I'll be doing a video on something about that soon. But I guess it'll work. If Din keeps the child with him and helps Bo-Katan, obviously Bo-Katan going after Gideon, when Gideon's technically going after the child, and clash, I guess. So yeah, but I would assume we won't be seeing anything like that this season. Maybe the seed starting to get planted of that, but yeah, who knows? Maybe this won't happen. It's obviously just complete speculation. Could happen, could not happen. Probably won't happen. But yeah, that's one thing I'd like to see. Obviously, if it isn't, I'm fine with that. But that seems like where it's going. But yeah, just a few little thoughts. Obviously, I would assume this is what everyone's theorizing. Nothing original or new, but just want to talk about Bo-Katan a little bit. And yeah, you could check out my reviews I've done of the Clone Wars and whatnot. And obviously all my other Mandalorian Season 2 videos on, my review of Chapter 11, The Harris, but not much else to say. Kind of rambling a bit on now, but yeah, I've been Star Wars Review, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.
You know this is no place for a child.
Wherever I go, he goes.
So I've heard.